Hi everyone, it's Dean here. Welcome to part 2 of our Introduction to Go series. And in part 1 we hinted that players can do two things. Players can take prisoners and they can also take territory. In order to understand how this works, we need to understand the concept of liberties. So I'm going to place two stones here, one black and one white, and these stones placed in isolation each have 4 liberties. What that means is that each stone has 4 adjacent intersections that are unoccupied. So the black stone has 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties, and likewise the white stone at the bottom left has 1, 2, 3 and 4 liberties. What we're going to do is black's going to place another stone here in isolation, and white's going to mix this up a little bit, and he's going to play a stone in one of the liberties of his existing stone. Of course, this stone at the bottom left has 1, 2, 3 and 4 liberties, and if white plays his stone on one of those, these two marked stones are connected by their liberties. That means that they become one single unit and they share all their liberties together. This means that this unit has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 liberties, whilst each of black stones are still isolated and they only have 4 liberties each. So if I place another black stone here, this stone is placed diagonally to the marked stone there, and there's an empty liberty between the circled stone and the stone with a triangle here. This means that all 3 of black stones are still isolated and all 3 stones still only have 4 liberties. What white's going to do is he's going to play adjacent to one of black stones here. What that's done is that's occupied one of the black stone's liberties. So this stone now has 1, 2, 3 liberties remaining, and of course the white stone is in the same situation here. It has 1, 2, 3 liberties as well. What black would like to do then is, seeing as he's had one of his liberties taken away, he's going to connect to another stone and try and give himself some more liberties. So black's going to play here, connecting these 3 stones, making them one unit, and now they share all of their liberties together. Let's see how many they have. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 liberties. Of course they would have one more liberty, but the marked white stone is occupying one of them. Notice also that the black stone marked with a triangle is still not connected with our large group, so its liberties don't count. White, also slightly worried about its stone only having 3 liberties, is going to connect here, and that's going to make a single unit out of white's 4 stones. That means this group here now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 liberties, and black, just to finish off his little play here, is going to connect his isolated stone. He of course has 2 ways of doing that. We'll call them A and B, and white's going to play, or black's going to play on A, connecting his group. That means that his group now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 liberties. And of course, just a little reminder, if the white stone marked with a triangle wasn't there, black's unit would have an extra liberty. One last thing before we finish off is that stones at the edge or on the corners don't start with 4 liberties. Of course, if we were to play a stone on the edge of the board, it starts with 1, 2, 3 liberties, and if we were to play a stone in the corner of the board, it would only have 1 and 2 liberties remaining. We're now ready to use this knowledge to start talking about territory, and then we'll move on to taking prisoners.